Looking to land bigger clients who can pay more and ultimately just better for your service? Well, you're going to want to watch this video.
Drop it.
Hi, my name is Michael, founder of Done For You Meetings, your choice for B2B prospecting. And for my own company, Done For You Meetings, as well as our clients, we've managed to land really big companies on sales discovery meetings. Some of these companies being Fortune 50, literally top 50 biggest companies in the world. We've gotten multiple of them on meetings. We've landed companies doing tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions, you name it, we've scored meetings of them. And there's some very simple things to consider when it comes to getting these companies on sales discovery calls through your cold email campaigns that you might not be considering. So in this video, I want to go over 5 things to consider so you can get better clients who pay more and ultimately make you more money. The first one is almost comical in simplicity, but it makes a lot of sense. And people don't normally do this. And this is targeting the right titles. I am shocked how many times I come in to audit a cold email campaign for somebody going after bigger companies and they're going after the CEO or the COO or even the CMO. Because you think about it, let's say you're selling, I'm just making this up, let's say you're selling some type of advertising service and you're going after really big companies. Let's say we're doing 100 million plus a year and you're going to email the CEO. It's a Hail Mary. It might work, it has worked. We've accidentally put CEOs of massive companies on lists before, and it's worked out. However, that's not usual. You want to target the person who's responsible for that. The CEO is not normally going to be that person. Now, if the company is huge, the CMO might even be too big. So rather than say going after the CEO here, we might need to go down a level and go CMO. Now, if the company is really big, maybe it's the digital marketing coordinator. Or, this could also be online marketing coordinator. Could be paid ads manager. There's a whole bunch of titles. And one thing that's a little bit difficult when it comes to big companies is you can't just search one title. You need to figure out all the 10, 15 titles that can mean the same thing and search all of those titles. And this also involves actually split testing the titles to see who is the best fit in order to actually do this outreach. So sometimes you might find that, okay, well, a CMO doesn't handle this. It's actually the content manager, or it's actually the paid ads manager, or the social media manager, or maybe it is the CMO, or maybe it's actually the COO. So actually digging in there, figuring out what these titles mean, depending on the industry, and then testing out these titles in your campaigns is going to be really important. But for the love of God, don't email the CEO with a $2K a month advertising offer. I see this far too many times when it comes to big companies. Again, small companies, totally fine. I do it. Big companies, we need to really pay attention to these titles. Thing number 2 is targeting multiple people at the same company. Let's say that you want to land Nike as a client. Now, within Nike, there are going to be hundreds, maybe thousands of people who are in, let's say, the marketing department. So to email one of those people and say, oh, I tried, it's over, it doesn't make any sense. You can email 100 people in Nike, 50 people, at least 10. In order to really pitch them. So if you want them as a client, you need to email multiple people in that company. It's also virtually harmless. The chance for those people are actually going to communicate with each other is probably not too likely. And it's just a no-brainer to reach out to multiple people in the same company. Now, you might want to consider different roles and how they have different pains and different benefits of your service when working with you. But definitely run a campaign and target multiple people in the same company, ideally with different copy, but even if you're using the same copy, it's worth doing. Another thing to consider is writing your copy to the actual title. Now, this is one I see that's often done wrong. For example, you might make a compliment based on how amazing it is you've grown this company, and that works with the owner, and that works with your small companies you're reaching out to, but does the HR manager care? Probably not. Does the CTO care? Probably not. So you want to make sure that the compliments are going to be matching the people you're reaching out to. For example, HR, you built a lovely company culture. Makes sense. But not, you've grown, really liked how you guys are doing X, Y, and Z in the marketing department. It doesn't work. You want to make sure the titles match the compliments and also the service benefits. For example, the benefit at a lower level is almost always going to be like make more money or save money. But on a higher level, it could be save time, help people do their roles better, improve team performance. So you want to figure out the benefits that actually match the title. And a lot of times those benefits when you're going after people who are a few steps down in an organization will be like improve your team's performance, hit your KPIs better if in your department. And you want to actually consider these and put those benefits into the email because, even in marketing, somebody who's 4 or 5 steps down may not really care about underlying profit as much as they care about taking less time to do a task or just hitting their team's KPIs and maybe getting a bonus or whatever it might be. The fourth thing I recommend doing is what I call the contact request variation. So email 2 is normally going to be your bump. Normally people say it's been like, hey, just want to make sure you didn't miss this email on your second follow-up. I like to change this up for bigger companies and say, hey, I just wanted to reach out and see if there's someone else at company name who'd be more appropriate to direct this question to. If you could refer me, that'd be amazing. Thank you. So we're literally saying, hey, are you the right person? If not, could you refer me to somebody? And it's amazing how many times someone will say, oh yeah, it's actually Rachel over at HR, whatever. Here's Rachel's email. And then you can email Rachel and say, hey, Sarah told me to email you as you're the right person for this. Now it feels like a warm introduction, even though it's cold. So actually asking who the right contact person is can be a great way in. I normally do this in email 2, but you could also lead with this in email 1. It's certainly something worth doing at smaller companies. I normally don't do this, but big companies, multiple employees, definitely worth doing. And lastly, one thing worth mentioning is a sales cycle can be really slow. I've closed some deals with some really big companies, Fortune 500, and it can take 6 months to a year to actually close out these deals. So if you're feeling disheartened, know that it's probably your contact point going through a whole bunch of approvals that they don't like just as much as you don't. And keep following up, stay supportive. Keep in mind the person you're working with is not going to be an owner or entrepreneur in general. So the follow-ups and encouragement need to be tailored towards the benefit they're going to receive. And you also want to be understanding that there might be roadblocks that they're trying to get for you. Like they're actually fighting for you to get approval, get their invoice approved, everything. So keep that in mind. And if you follow these 5 steps, you'll be much better off than the average person when it comes to going after big companies. Because a lot of times, like the easiest way to make money is just to charge more, and the easiest way to charge more is to go after bigger companies with bigger budgets. And a lot of times people just kind of skip off on the enterprise level client, but I don't think you should. It's not that scary. A lot of times they're easier clients to work with than small businesses, and I think you should give it a shot. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I record videos on B2B prospecting on a weekly basis. And if you're looking for help running campaigns, just like this one mentioned here, feel free to book a call with my team, dfymeetings.com, and we'll see if we can help you out. Thanks again.